The issues at stake in this election have never been more clear and have never been more important as we think about who we are, how we participate, how we make our voices heard. My mentor said to me, "Well, have you know when we all vote, have you considered going over?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if I could be an executive director. I don't know." And I was talking to some girlfriends over dinner, and I said, "Well, I think I'm gonna have some conversations about this, but I don't know if I can do this." And they were like, "Absolutely, you can do this." And I think that brain trust of women and friends around the table that could put that mirror up when sometimes the mirror isn't really reflecting true for you was important to help me overcome a little bit of imposter syndrome, but also to help empower me to take on what is such a weighty role in a really important and weighty moment, and to step into that knowing that, yes, I got this and I can do this, but also knowing that I had so many women who had my back, so many people who had my back and were going to support me as I navigated this new role in such a critical season. And honestly, without that, I wouldn't have felt confident enough and ready enough to take on this role. When I started in March, I had those same women who had my back as I was going through and thinking about what I was going to do, hosted a welcome reception for me. And I remember telling them, I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to show up. And we had like 200 people there, right?
Yeah.
So it was really a affirmation of that work. And I think sometimes we talk about imposter syndrome like it's a bad thing, but I think it's um, a reality and we all experience it. And it's something that having my community and my tribe with me to help navigate through that process is always just I'm so lucky to have.
We talk about this on the entrepreneurial journey too. I've seen a lot of founders just start to doubt themselves because
Mhm.
you're told no so many times and you're beat up so much. One person just telling you they believe in you and to go
Yeah,
for it, it has such a significant impact. I
yeah.
mean, I'm so glad that you have that group of friends. But oftentimes we have a tendency to, hold ourselves back or have that imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
Everyone has it. I agree. Especially in big, just, big moments like this. It can be daunting, and just to have that belief from someone where it's not crazy for you to go after this role.
yeah.
And not only is it not crazy, you're now excelling in this role. Was part of the calculation, the fact that we are in the midst of
Yeah.
election season, for better or worse? Like, that probably attracted you to the job, but it was also more intimidating because of the stakes of this election.
That's exactly right. I mean, and the moment when I was preparing to take on this role, it was the early part of 2020 or 2024. The issues at stake in this election have never been more clear and have never been more important as we think about who we are, how we participate, how we make our voices heard. And it was also in a moment when there were narratives going around where, oh, young people are disaffected or not engaged or checked out. And I was feeling in that moment, and this was one of the moments I went back to data and research to confirm what I was feeling. But I was feeling in that moment, I don't think that's right. That's not what I'm seeing. And I remember as I was jumping into the role, I was also confirmed by the data that we had in house. At that point in the year, we had thousands of people who were signing up to volunteer. Just spontaneously saying, "Oh, I want to take action. I want to lean in. I want to engage." That was really inspiring to me, and knowing that energy existed, and having the opportunity, frankly, to be able to tap into that, but also to be able to share that we have 48 million young people the Gen Z that are voting and eligible to vote in this election. 8 million Gen Z voters will vote in their first election this November 5th. That's exciting,
Very.
or are eligible to vote. And I believe, we're engaging with them actively to ensure that they do participate. That was really inspiring to me, but it's also incredibly daunting to be like, okay, how are we tapping in? How are we thinking thoughtfully about this work in this moment? There's still a ticking clock when you step into a role like this in a moment
Mhm.
like this.
Mhm.
And so that urgency just being fueled by that, day after day. But I was so excited. And I think this is where the optimism comes through again, by just the incredible team that we had, the creativity, the energy, and the focus towards the goal, and just that commitment to doing this work and pushing it forward. And so, yes, it was daunting, but I felt very empowered and with the wind behind my back to get the work done. And it was just really important to do it. And I think my mom told me a long time ago that if you don't have a little fear when you're stepping into something, then you're holding yourself back, right? And so you got to have a little bit of that, fire in your stomach, I'll say, to keep you on your toes.